Noma ngathiwa kwenzakaleni ohlele wrong umfana ohleli wrong umfana noma ngathiwa kwenzakaleni umfana makuthiwa ubani wrong sikhomba yena umfana because it can never be a girl. It can never be a girl. Sizokhomba nina abafana because into wrong izenziwa abafana. Konke okuhamba kabi umfana. Isizathu sokuthi why izinto zakho ingahambi right umfana.
The funny thing is that there are women who actually believe what this girl is saying. That the damsel in distress, whatever wrong that happens in the world, it's a man's fault. And of which is a lot of bullshit. I'm going to read out a few statistics. And I'm gonna highlight the sources of all of these things. And these things happen in the Western world where it is perceived to be safe and better than us here because we are called a third world country. So I want you guys to critically think for a second that if such things can happen in the Western world, how much are women actually doing in our communities and in this society? I'm going to start with the first one. Number one is false accusations. 73% of false accusations are made by women. And it's often related to sexual assault or abuse, leading to wrongful legal actions against innocent individuals. The source is the National Register of Exonerates in the U.S. Bureau of Justice. Now, we know in South Africa that there are many stories of women that falsify rape cases and they say they were falsely raped because in the morning they wanted money and the guy did not want to give money. And then the guy gets arrested. So 73% of false accusations in a population of over 300 million in America is done by women. Number two. Okay. And I'm going to highlight this one specifically so you guys can see the difference. Physical crimes are usually committed by men. And I'm going to take accountability of that. Men are innately physically violent. And it's a problem that we also have. And it's 85%. And it's from the FBI Union of Crime. Number three. Abductions and killings. 90% of abductions and killings, women are involved. Women are often involved in orchestrating abductions or killings by recruiting men to carry out these acts. You see? And the source is the National Crime of Victimization Survey. Now, there are many cases, even here at home, where a lady wants life insurance premiums, and even life insurance companies had to change their policies because there's a lot of women that are involved in these life insurance killings, murders, kidnappings, all these things. Women are the ones who are involved in these things. But no, I get men are the ones who are always at fault. Let's continue. Number four, the abuse of children and the elderly. 60 to 80% of women are the perpetrators. And it is a National Center on the Elderly Abuse, Child Welfare Information Gateway. Now, you see the mistreatment that women have. And a lot of you have been raised by single mothers. You've got stories to tell for days of how much of an evil witch and abusive woman your mother was. Some of you were hit with electric cables, bricks, pens, all these things by your mothers. Let's continue. Number five. Child neo... English is more in me. This is a crime. Women are primarily responsible for killing their newborn children. And it's 95% of the statistics. The source is the Journal of Forensic Sciences at the National Institute of Justice. And this is America. We've seen many cases where women are throwing kids in dustbins, in plastic bags, and all these things. But yeah, I get it again. The point of this video is to say men are responsible for all the bad things that are happening in the world. Number six, poisoning. 80% of poisoning cases, women are the perpetrators. They poison many people. They poison their men. And the source is the International Journal of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology. Let's tell about to be careful. You guys even put korobela, muti in people's food to kill them. Number 7, there's something called Munchausen syndrome. I just recently learned it. And 75 to 95% of this disorder, it is when where caregivers, typically mothers, intentionally harm or falsify medical conditions of their children to gain attention or sympathy. So you find that a woman has a child with a man, and then she's intentionally making the kid sick. She's doing crazy things. She's putting the child's health at risk to gain attention or sympathy. So this is a source from the Journal of the American Medical Association of America. Number 8, shoplifting. We know. We live in a society where if women are caught shoplifting, they are given gifts. When men are caught shoplifting, they get arrested. We know it happens here at home. 70% of women are involved in shoplifting, and the source is the National Association of Shoplifting Prevention. Number 9, domestic abuse in children, elderly, heterosexual, gay, and relationships. 70% of the perpetrators are women, because we've seen many confirmations and statistics. Women, even when they get into gay relationships, their level of abuse is high. It's higher than heterosexual relationships. The source is the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Number 10, hiring criminals for fraud and scams. 60 to 70% of women are involved in these scams. The source is the Federal Trade. Women are involved in a lot of fraudulent activities, and it's not being told. Now ask yourself this, and it's even worse. The information is there. Some of them are dating Nigerians. Some of them, there've been cases that have been shown in TV shows in Moja Love. They're falsifying documents for foreigners. They're doing all these crazy things, working in government institutions, aiding and abetting these criminals. Women, South African women. Let's go. Number 11, human trafficking. 60% of human trafficking cases, women are the perpetrators. They are the recruiters or the facilitators in human trafficking, exploiting vulnerable individuals for sex or labor. This is a source from the U.S. Department of State and National Trafficking Hotline. Number 12, hiring for assault or revenge crimes. Women may hire criminals to carry out acts of assault and revenge against others. This is 60% of you guys, by the way. National Crime of Victimization Survey. Number 13, parental kidnapping. 60 to 80% of women are often involved in parental kidnapping, taking children away from the rightful guardians, typically during custody disputes. The source is the National Center of Missing Children and Exploited Children. We know this thing. If a father comes, takes his child, he can be arrested. No, now you can come pick your child because the mother is right all the time. No. And number 14, welfare and social security fraud. Women are involved in defrauding government for assistance. Number 50, romance scams. 65% of women are running romance scams out there in the world, especially in the Western world. Probably it does exist. Now, the source is the Federal Trade Commission, of the FTC. This one we said it, shoplifting by women, paternity fraud. We obviously know, you guys, whenever the discussion of DNA test is being raised, you guys lose your mind. So paternity fraud, you are the masters of that. Fake pregnancy and baby theft. We know that a lot of you fake this. You fake your pregnancies at times in order to trap men, to whatever the case may be. You have your reasons. Parental alienation. 80% of women are the ones. Women often turn children against the other parent during custody battles or divorce, or manipulate them emotionally. We know you do this thing. We know, and you guys know yourselves. But I get it's always the men who are wrong. False rape or abuse accusations, 80%. It's done by you, and it's the source is the National Sexual Violence Resources Center. No. And I think I said this. Oh, that's the end. So the intention of this video is just to highlight that not all bad things that are happening in the world is a man's fault. You guys are not the victims that the world portrays you to be. You're not the princesses. A lot of you, you're fucking demons. A lot of you need fucking Jesus. So I was just highlighting some of the bad things in the Western world where it's perceived to be safe. That these things women are doing all over the place. Now ask yourselves, what is happening in South Africa? I rest my case.